We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Yeah, the phone system seems to get forgot over the years.
Grab it by the horn, just take it.
Okay.
The state made a suggestion of that.
Yeah,
Sorry, everybody.
I like the suggestion.
yeah.
Anita. Cat food. Our cats won't eat it, none of them. It's the expensive thing.
Oh, yes, it is. Well, I experience that sometimes, but thank you. Can I get anybody water? Well, hi, Michael.
What are you doing?
Hey, Jean. Nice time to see you, you look like that.
Nope.
What were you doing today?
Storm sewer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat down on the couch and almost didn't make it back.
Well, I would have made it back if Diane helped me with the brownies.
So I went to sleep.
Did you get the mixer?
Are you cold out?
Yes.
Did you
He's
use
been
it?
out in the rain.
Yeah, I'm still trying to warm up.
And
I see.
Buddy was out there with him, helping him.
Oh, you did something today?
Well, there was a man short.
Yeah, so Bud was there.
That bothered
In
me.
the
What
rain.
were
Didn't
we-
bother them, but it bothered me more than it bothered them.
What were we doing today?
We were trying to get that sealed up there.
Oh, I see.
And
No luck?
Yeah, we're pretty close.
did you put pipe in there?
Yes. Yeah, we got concrete up around it.
Brandy, when Rick comes, you need to also let him know about the pit bull too.
Okay. Oh, I plan
The
on
best thing would be for Jesse to come and fill out a complaint.
Well, I can do it.
One time, it's like they,
So,
A
they
text.
just put the pipe in the ground.
Cassie's dog attacked her dog's dog.
Where's it at?
Pit bull.
Pad halfway up the
3
pipe.
houses down.
They just cut
That
out
the
the
brick-
top
that guy used to have
section,
get
you know,
loose all the time?
exposed,
No,
and then
no.
just,
Here.
you know,
That way.
built a
Yes.
block
This
around
way.
it.
No.
Did it all by
Jess,
hand.
my
It's
daughter's living in
very
the
odd.
house now.
You could,
Oh, okay.
I guess you could.
Jackson's
Don
old
Jackson and Jennifer's house.
The kids are now in there.
Pain.
They're
Oh,
living there
pretty
full
slick
time.
way.
Slick, yeah.
So, Bridget's old house,
Yeah, the
and
bottom
then
was
coming this
concrete.
way, the next house,
So
which
we-
was
we beat
Browning's.
the pipe out.
Don Jackson's.
No.
Oh, you,
No, the other one, this
Yeah.
one.
It was Browning's when I was growing up.
yes.
It's one that Dougie
Yeah,
Thorpe.
Doug Tharp has it.
Connecting points,
She has a
plastic
pit
on
bull,
top of that.
and it
and
went
then
from
poured the
her
concrete.
backyard
So
across
regardless,
behind
it's always gonna have
Bridget's
that.
old house and
line
come
there.
up by the back porch and attacked their dog that was on the leash.
Did you name all of that?
Actually,
Well, they got
during
them
the
apart,
system, we had
they
these,
finally screened
for
enough for her to
the
come
water
up and get it.
system, we had these insulated, it's a foam disc.
But
Yeah,
My
It's
neighbor
7
lost
o'clock.
his thumb trying to take two pit bulls apart.
okay.
His thumb off.
But, those things.
Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes.
Yes.
And ask me if anybody got any questions.
No,
I do not.
I do not.
In reference to building Bob's oral report, he had talked to Mr. Miller about the siding coming off. I noticed there is a scaffolding back there, so they're working on that.
Okay.
So I just wanted to update that. Use steel tables, cheaper than purchasing built materials to build one. Still waiting to hook up with the table guy. We'll get it before we buy anything. Property was sold to DKP Consulting, Inc. They will be paying the sewer bill effective on the next billing cycle, and electric has already been put into their name, and the payments are starting to come in.
we got our last bill on
Confined space training. That's one reason I really wasn't sure if that was considered confined space, but that's one reason I wanted to hang out down there.
Should have been.
What?
Were you down in it? How far down?
It's about 4 foot.
But that's where we need to talk, get something set up where we call Julie. She comes down, sits there with the rescue. But I didn't know you guys were gonna be down in it.
I didn't need to last minute.
Yeah,
That's
we
another
had, we had
reason I
to get
wanted to
down,
hang
we had to
out.
shovel it.
That's when you should have called her and she could've sat there with the truck. And we need to set something like that
Yeah.
up. Something that we can do when you guys, just an SOP that you guys can follow when you get down, whatever that class at, 2 feet, 3 feet, whatever the depth is, when you get past that, we'll put an SOP together and then you guys will have that.
Definitely.
And she'll be on board with it.
Oh, yeah.
State Road 38 pump station, have you heard anything back from Cooley about spraying that?
Yes. I didn't get it printed off, but I got it's a time and material quote, looking anywhere from 25 to 4,500.
He thinks he can do it?
They say they have good luck with it.
That's just spraying.
Well, they go down in and they drill holes in the bottom of the tank and they pump it full of this goo. And they say it works best when they've got groundwater pressure. So during the wet season, he's fine with doing it.
Probably forms up on the bottom better.
It does, and then they come through and they buff it and they pour resin on top of it and cover the bottom with resin. They said they got about an 85% success with them. There's always about 1 or 2 that won't seal.
You said goo, what's a goo?
I don't know.
Material, just material.
It's some goo.
It's like, is it like a polyurethane, like foam?
It's like almost like a foam he puts in the bottom of it, shoots in the bottom, and they seal the crack out that way.
Any
Um,
guarantees if it don't work? We don't
No, no
pay them?
guarantees.
No guarantee.
No
Then what do they
Okay.
pour on top of the material, or resin? You said?
Epoxy resin,
Epoxy.
And then it dries hard.
and it dries hard.
How long will the pump station be down for this process?
2 to 4 hours, and you have to have Kent on standby too to pull the line as the line starts filling up. We'll have to pull it back on the line. We can't shut everybody down,
Right.
you know, so we've got to figure out a way, and we've done it before.
Is that gonna happen in that 2 to 4 hour time frame?
No, they'll afterwards, you'll have to wait, or be there most of the night, once you're the 8 hours probably to back the line out.
Probably. Well, he said the epoxy will set up pretty quick once they put it in there.
And-
So I'll have probably another 2 to 4 hours that we're sitting there with house, keeping the line clean.
So upwards of possibly 8 hours.
Yeah.
And 25 to 40 foot, that's a heck of a spread.
It depends on material and time. He said more than likely about 2 to 3 hours.
What's it gonna cost us to dig it up, put a tank in it?
About 12,000.
Oh, well, I know where my boat just went.
I mean, and after talking with him, it's definitely worth it's worth a try. Even if we slow down the ground infiltration, if we cut it down by half, we're
And the ground infiltration is getting in how?
through the crack.
Yeah.
It's cracked on the bottom.
The bottom tank's cracked.
And he's gonna put more holes in it.
Yep, they're gonna drill holes in it.
You think it'll break when they drill? Crack more, or?
Well, they fill it full of that
Did that
goo.
ever-
Yeah, they
Goo
inject it into
material.
the holes and it spreads on the outside between the ground and the structure.
And the groundwater,
That helps
supposedly
seal it.
the pressure from the groundwater, the way he explained it to me,
Makes it adhere better.
is, well, it pushes it up in through the crack and into the holes, and then they come back and they buff it. They
You
grind
could
it.
probably make a tank out of that stuff since you already had a pattern down there.
Yeah, you probably could.
And how far down in the hole do they have to go?
14 feet all the way to the bottom.
It's 14 feet.
Yes. That ain't bad. The main lift station's 26.
Yes.
No, they'll have
I've
their,
been bottom of that one many times.
they'll have their own stuff doing that.
Because that's what you do.
That's right.
Keep playing food.
It's awful pretty when it runs down the back of your shirt. You have no idea.
So,
No, we don't, honey, we don't.
while we're waiting to do this, what's it costing us to wait? I mean, how important, I know it's a issue we've been dealing with, but I mean, what's the priority level is this on? I mean, right now, what is it, pumps just run all the time,
Pumps
where the
run all
pumps
the
out?
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And what's our electric
Pumps
bill
run
going
all
to?
the time.
about $100, sometimes more a month.
The other
That's
thing
ridiculous.
is if we got water coming in, then we gotta have water going out. You know, when the water pressure drops a little bit, there's gotta be something going out.
So you recommend we get this done immediately?
I recommend we get it done.
Try to get a schedule, you wanna give them a call and see when they can schedule it for, or then let us know, I mean, we'll go ahead and
Call
do
in the
it.
morning, yeah.
And the name of the people at
Cooley's.
Cooley's.
Cooley's in advance.
We'll just
Do the
ask
same.
Brandy to pay 8 years advance on her sewer bill, we'll pay for it.
You can prepay, we allow
Just
prepay.
buy more houses so they
Yeah,
start
there
getting
you go.
paid.
There you go.
I spent
I
a,
call Walt Craner, Chauncey Heaston.
Johnson. He's still, because of all what he owes.
No, Chauncey was a great guy. He bought a lot of houses in this town and sold them to people for $100 a month on contract for years. Okay,
you just want him to go ahead with it, you gonna make a motion
he
or?
was going. I don't know that we need to make a
You don't
motion.
need
That's
it.
been something we've been.
Been
Been
talking
tabled for
about it
almost
for
a
2
table
years.
for a year that I know anyway, so yeah, I just
It's
say
been
just.
on
I mean, if we need to, I'll go
I
ahead and
don't
make the
know.
motion that we have Doug try to get a date set up and
Infiltration.
try to pinpoint exactly how much it's gonna
Well,
cost. We
other
know it's
than-
gonna be $2,500 to $4,500
Heavy
That's
rains.
for
We
Cooley.
filled that
for
tank.
Cooley.
And then plus.
Well, yeah, plus any
Yeah.
other.
Both
I think
pumps
we should
running
do it.
and tanks full.
So I made the motion. Need a second.
I'd like to see, I would like to have something in writing before I second,
As far as,
what he wants to do, time frame, what it's cost.
okay.
He's already gave it.
Oh, we do have it?
He's gonna print it all.
I got printed, I said I hadn't printed it yet,
Yeah,
but I
I
will.
got it.
I didn't hear that part.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, he hadn't printed it out.
Okay, no,
Well, I
I'm fine.
figured you'd want a motion.
And that's everybody but Kent House. I don't have an actual quote from Kent. Kent's just,
Kent works well with this.
He
Time,
always
yeah.
has.
Yeah,
He's always been our go-to.
I'm gonna second Buddy's motion.
okay.
Motion been made, proper second to have Doug go ahead and set up a time for Cooley to do that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say the same. Thank you.
Did you guys, do you have a second? Minutes yet?
Well, he's not done.
First aid kits, there's two.
Good.
Council Rick Stewart taking care of purchasing first aid kits. Let's see one, Rick, tell us a little bit about them, are they in count?
No, they're Ocean and ANZI, ANSI, and 250 piece kits. Mount on the wall.
245 band-aids.
I think there's even some aspirins in there.
Did we get one here in the office?
I figured we'd put one, you guys could decide, one out the sewer plant and one in that building.
Okay.
And then that way if you, at least there'll be
Okay.
one on the property.
The police have their own, and they're.
Well, you can put one in here and the guys can come in here and get it, that's fine with
Doesn't
me.
matter.
No, but I mean, the police have a pretty extensive, I thought.
Yeah, I think they got a
in the
jump kit.
car.
Okay,
See that?
good.
But I did want one out the sewer plant.
You don't have one out there, do you?
No, I have a piddly one that I bought years ago.
Somehow they mount on the wall.
How much were they?
Well, just, fire department kinda takes care of the people that need that stuff, so,
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
Thank you.
Get a little return on your investment.
We support the fire.
Yes,
Yeah, we've, advanced auto parts,
Where you at?
that's not advanced, that didn't, I said that wasn't advanced, that was, one that used to be, right there at the bridge,
CarQuest.
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 It's
What was,
advanced.
It's both.
that's advanced, and
One
there's
bought
the
the
other Vance
other.
over there by the,
Yeah.
but there's two different billing places,
There
Yeah.
is.
and they're AutoZone building places. Ain't that what it said?
Well, I think I put AutoZone, it should have been advanced. They are two different places, so,
AutoZone and Advanced are two different places, yes.
Yeah, but advanced and what used to be on the corner,
It used to be
It was
CarQuest.
Rotofield's.
It was
Rotofield's.
Rotofield's and then CarQuest and
They're-
then
If
now
you
it's
don't, you have
Advanced.
to call them and they'll merge your accounts. I found that out with the fire department. If
Yeah.
not, if you go to this one, they'll bill you from there. If you go to Advanced, they'll bill you from there. So you gotta call them and have them merge the
And if
accounts.
you send one check, then you've got an overpayment in one place and a balance due in another place.
Correct.
So, I think you're gonna stick with the 1825, National Road West for purchases.
Easy pump, whatever.
That's over by Easy
26.
Pond. That's not
Yeah.
the one that used to be CarQuest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Only
go to
use
that
it,
one
that's
anyways.
what you guys decided last month, that you would only use 96 West if necessary. if
Yeah.
you can get it,
But if you call them, they'll merge them accounts.
but they're a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Used to work there.
96 is a pain. Believe me, I know. We were months getting reprints from
Same
them.
way with the fire department.
Yeah,
Things just aren't as easy as they ought to be sometimes,
Uh-uh.
so try to stick with 1825,
I don't go there.
okay.
Standing water complaint from the post office, of course, it's, especially when it freezes. And about all we could do is advise the street crews when they spread salt, make sure they spread a little bit deeper. They are gonna, jet the gutters and all the curbs coming up. I don't know if they've started that yet or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I saw him out with shovels driving around, picking up stuff in the side of the street. Doug?
Yes, they were cleaning the gutter lines.
Not done now?
Oh, no, it's in progress.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far they made it, but they were cleaning the gutter
They
lines.
told me that they do every single gutter in town.
It's an ongoing thing.
Some of them are a mess, that is the
Yes.
truth.
Anybody got any other questions about the minutes? If not, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from last month's meeting.
Second it.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say the same. Thank you.
Skip Rick, are you gonna read that?
If Rick's coming, we'll wait. We'll wait on it. Or what would you wanna do, Kathy?
That's fine,
You're deputy.
because he said he would be here, and then we're gonna have to have
Sewer
him
plant
here
operations, Mike Stuckey.
to answer questions.
What do you need to know?
What do you know about it? You know anything about it? Tell us
Numbers
what
look
this is.
good.
What looks good?
Treatment numbers.
It's good to hear.
Means I'm doing my job right.
Do what?
Just that that means I'm doing my job right.
Treatment numbers good. All right, Becca, I guess it's on you, dear.
Nothing's really changed out there. We had a dumpster out there on the February 4th. We had a dumpster out there and we pumped waste into it about, was it 14,000 gallons?
Yes.
14,000 gallons of sludge through the dumpster. And that's about it. Chemicals will be delivered tomorrow. We're gonna start our chemical treatment.
For the one that starts in April through October.
We're gonna start it early to make sure we've got everything ironed out.
I think that's what we did last year.
We do it every year. We
Early,
usually start,
early in March.
yeah, we usually start a couple weeks early. But he'll be out there delivering chemicals tomorrow, Hawkins will. And that's it. Nothing's new. Oh, Rick is only out there now on Saturdays and Sundays.
Seen his hours drop down?
Yes,
So,
I'm
good.
out there daily, Monday through Friday.
Does he still
I
check,
even run samples.
does he still check your, stations,
Yes,
pump stations? Okay.
he's supposed to.
And what changed there?
I don't work at the daycare anymore.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I do. I work part-time, but I have more time to go out to the plant now than I did.
You, when you want to bring them up during the reports, I don't know if everybody knew about
It
these.
don't matter, yeah, whenever, you bring it up now.
Oh yeah, we all took our confined space training.
Everybody except Wayne,
Yeah, we need to get one in.
and I've already talked to him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other than that, nothing's really changed up there.
You guys got 3 out of the 4 got that confined space training. If you want to put that in the minutes, Nita.
Okay.
And we'll look at this, see what all you, we'll sit down with that.
Oh, equipment?
Yeah. There was an extra. I'll get on that. We'll-
Self-retracting line?
Yeah, that was the extra part, wasn't it?
So the way I've got it set up for hours, Rick shouldn't be out there except for Saturdays and Sundays unless I ask him otherwise.
Does the mowing go out there? Where does it go?
It goes up.
It goes out
Okay.
there. But when that starts, I'll be sure to put that on the report.
Okay.
But that'll be Rick
No, that'd be
Wayne.
Wayne,
or Wayne.
No,
Wayne
it's-
mows. Unless Wayne's not available, then it's Rick.
And who mows out here?
Wayne.
Rick,
Oh, Rick.
Wayne,
Rick or Wayne, either one.
you can if you get bored, any of us, heck,
Okay.
any of us can
All right.
ride around. Okay, anybody got any other questions of the sewer plant peoples? I'll make a motion, we accept Becca's report.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Who's second?
All opposed say the same.
Who's second?
Rick.
Something that I'd like to say that you might wanna tell people in town. The cemetery will be looking for a sexton and a helper.
Isn't
Donnie,
that the thing you look at the stars with?
Yeah,
That's
sexton.
kinda what I was thought, he was on a ship.
Yeah, Navy.
caretaker's called a sexton.
That's a naval
I
thing.
thought that's what you used on a ship, to
Oh,
look at the
because
stars.
Bill can't do it. Right?
Well,
Bill
Donnie's,
hasn't.
Bill hasn't done it for years, Donnie and his son have,
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
but they will be looking for somebody, and Donnie will train them.
I think that, for what it is, pays relatively decent.
Don't quote me, but I think it's $1,000 a month year round, plus the helper gets paid too, and I don't know what the helper gets paid.
Oh,
You got enough irons in the fire, Doug?
Don't look at me,
But if you know of anybody,
We're
I
taking
will-
care
I
of the
will
pet
sure.
cemetery. We
but
don't
it's a
need
lot
this
more
under
than
there, too.
mowing,
But you guys get the pet cemetery.
digging the
Yeah, we're
graves,
taking care
placing
of
the
it.
I
mark.
thought they had some Amish taking care of them at one time.
No, we got rid of them, and my daughter and our family's taking care of the pet cemetery now.
Good. Good. Okay, miss. Bob Bullock, not here. Miss Nita, sewer utility monthly income and disbursements.
Okay, for February, we took in $14,446. We dispersed, $12,270.
Ahead of the game again.
Well, it's early though.
Yeah, very shortly.
Yes, it-
We're trying to get money to do State Road 38 pump station. We're doing better. I have customers that's paid out August, September of this year. That's helping. Then we've got some that's delinquent, but not as many as they used to be. We've got less sewer liens out there than we've ever had. The clerk treasurer only done, a couple, I think, or done 3 in February. And total number right now is just really low. It's at 26 recorded liens.
So my question is, overdue sewer, is that for this year or is that
That's continuous.
continuous?
Yeah, oh no, that's not this year, that's continuous, yeah. We do have an overdue sewer, $6,753. Overdue trash, $27.53.
That was not $27.53, right?
Pardon me?
That was not $27.
Oh, no, I
$2,753.
wished it was. Yeah, we're talking about 100. Yeah. Well, we started out in January, there was a real bang that customers started paying ahead, and that's good. We'll receive their money if they want to pay in advance, that's a good thing. That's gonna help us with State Road 38, so I think it may be a good time to do it right now. So that's about all I have. On the paper here, it tells how much we have collected, over the last 6 years in sewer liens. And without those funds, we wouldn't have survived. But right now, we got more customers paying and less, sewer liens than we've ever had, and
But
that's a
those
good
are,
thing.
those are funds we should have had to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just paid $1,860 on Jackson's house that was sewer liens.
That's a good thing. Yeah. See, we don't make any extra on sewer liens. Even the extra money that Wayne County takes in, we don't get any of that. They distribute it to other entities. If they take a late fee in, they distribute it between the fire department, which is a good thing, and other things too, so we don't get it. It's a lot cheaper if people pay their sewer bill here, because
Mhm.
Wayne County charges 25 to record, 25 to, release, yeah. We don't get any of that. And plus another 20 to put it on their system there too, so it's
Now,
$70.
do we charge them the recording fee?
It's built into their,
Okay.
yeah.
Just curiosity.
Yeah, it's built into it, yeah.
And you charge administration fees for
No.
here, don't you?
No,
I thought we were told we were
No.
allowed to do that
no, we're not.
for your bookkeeping and stuff.
No, we're not. As far as I know, we are not allowed to, no.
Oh, I thought they told us
Now,
we
we can
could.
put on the late fees that go on each month is $6.60.
For your paperwork and your hours and time.
It's been a pain, but it's really been worth it. If you look over the last 6 years, how much we've collected. Almost 11,000 one year, 13,000 another year, 8,000 another one. Almost 9,000 another year, almost 11,000 another year, and 8,000 another one.
And we get reimbursed on when we have to send some certified mail, things like that, correct?
No,
So it costs us,
it cost us, yeah. And
so
very
we're not
seldom-
getting what we should have got, we're getting most of it.
Very seldom do I send certified mail. If the renter doesn't pay, I switch it over to the, property owner. And, that's who it should have been at the get-go, but that's another story.
You wasn't here.
That's
You
right, I
wasn't here
wouldn't,
that month.
True. Well,
wasn't
yeah,
here
you
when
come
we
back to the
started,
very end
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, because all I've got's Rick's time. Wayne don't have any money on the.
okay. That's all, folks.
All right, street report.
Anybody gonna approve my?
I make a motion, we accept the wastewater.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept Nita's report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say the same. Wayne, what else? It was a cheap month for sewer pay, or street pay.
I think Doug worked snow removal
Yeah.
for Wayne.
Wasn't a whole lot, that's good.
No,
That was good.
easy winter. Yeah.
Don't say nothing yet.
Knock on wood, Green.
Yeah, they said we might get snow this week.
Saturday, hopefully. All right, let's just jump to appearance by citizens. Miss Brandy,
Yes.
you're a citizen and you've appeared.
Yep.
Talk to us.
They put out paperwork for abandoned vehicles on public and residential property, which we don't have an issue with. I do own a business that was established, and it is an industrial business and commercial property taxes I pay for. It was established February 10th, 1995. We need to make sure that when they're tagging vehicles, that they know that I have storage units back there. People do pay me to store vehicles back there on that property only, not on my residential. And we need to make sure that those vehicles don't get tagged. We're willing to work with the city to tuck them under tarps, put them up against the building, whatever needs to be done. But, as far as our business, we can't be tagging other people's vehicles and having them towed when they're paying me to be there.
Paying you what?
paying me storage. Cause that's what it is we do storage, because we don't have any water and no
It's-
sewage back there anymore.
So you have a business license, storage,
Yep, I brought
business
proof
license?
of everything, and our insurance is with State Farm, and it's commercial. And we pay $1,530.44 every quarter to continue to keep that commercial industrial business license. And
Yeah.
I got the parcel number if you guys need that.
And see, those are questions I could not answer for Brandy. That's why Rick needs to definitely be here.
Well, I mean, the ordinance and the state law is pretty clear, it's gonna have to be out of public view, just like Stampers or something
That's
like
what
that.
I did tell them that.
So I mean,
Well-
either in a building, TARP don't get it.
That's okay.
We only have 2 vehicles out there, and everything else is campers out, so we're willing to put them over by the door behind the campers. We just don't wanna tuck them behind the red barn there, cause that's considered our residential, so then there's some,
I mean, will they fit
Thin
in the
lines.
barn or go, can you put a fence up? I mean, that's gonna, it's supposed to be out of public view.
well, then we're getting into a lot of,
She came over and talked to
you know, touchy subject. It says junk, and then it says 3 years old. Then you're talking about a lot of people getting a lot of tickets and a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I mean, when,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
the-
when we start talking about junk, I mean, what you consider junk and what we consider junk are 2 different things. And us paying all this money to be able to put storage there. And I mean, we've done it for years. And that's why Mom and Dad got the commercial licenses, so that we could have stuff sit outside, cause there was this issue prior. That's why it was introduced as a commercial property, so that we can have stuff out there. But like I said, we're willing to work with you guys if you work with us, but you just can't come and start tagging stuff that people are paying me, cause that's my income.
Is that a second, are there 2 lots there?
Yes.
Okay. So
The
if
red
there's
barn-
2 residences, or 2 addresses. is what I
Well,
was
they're-
trying to get.
Kind of, they have them under the same address, but they're 2 different lots. The red building forward is our residential.
But they're still in the, both of them are still in the town of
The-
Hinsford.
Yeah, cause you guys, when Mom and Dad decided to do the commercial, the taxes were higher, the city wanted the tax money, of course, to help with everything. So they incorporated it into the city. That was part of the reason. But from the red barn back, where the big building is, that is commercial. And they are 2 different entities.
But they
and
have
I
the same
pay-
address
I pay 2 different taxes.
on the same
One.
address.
Well, one's 110 East Carriage and one's 110 Carriage. The residential's Carriage, the commercial's East Carriage.
Now, at one point in time, Rick did state that if it could be seen from the road, is there any availability that they can't be seen from the road, any place on your property?
Behind the fire department.
Well, it is behind the fire department, and we have
Right,
campers out there. I can
you
stick
can't-
them closer to the door behind the campers, but if somebody comes down the road, actually up to our property on that back half, they would have to come through the Ball Diamond area and up to our house back
Well,
there to see it.
that's-
They would not see it from 38, and they would not see it from,
They'd see it from that little road between your house and Judy's.
yes, they'd have to go down that alley or road.
It's not an alley, it's a
okay,
road.
They would have to physically go down there. And then, we had already discussed this with Rick. He asked us if we would wanna put them behind the red barn. Well, now, they're on residential property, but you can see them from Carriage and Green.
And these vehicles do not run, do they have engines in them?
Yes.
Yes,
They do not run.
no,
And they've been there how long? 2 years, 3 years?
maybe a year and a half. Yeah.
And the intention of what's going to happen with these vehicles?
The owner brought both of them over, and they are taking and merging them into one. They are working on them.
You're doing the work, or someone else is?
someone else's.
Is the building full?
I got RVs in there. Classic cars, motorcycles,
No, we don't.
it is completely full. That's why my camper is sitting outside right now, is because I have no more room inside.
And see, I can't
It ain't that bad.
take this any further unless Rick is here.
Well,
Are you guys agree here?
Well, I don't know that it's a Rick issue.
Well,
Well, I mean, the laws to get into, I don't know how to interpret it any deeper.
I think he was thinking the other day.
I mean, we're willing to work with you guys, you just have to work with us. I mean, we're not wanting to lose our income.
I mean, and I understand it's a big ask, but 20 foot of wood fence,
There's no way. I mean, every dime we were making, we're putting into other properties here to try to help the town clean up other stuff. So, we just bought it. Like I said, we just bought a property, we gutted it completely, had to fit new electrical, new plumbing, had to fix the furnace, new drywall, new insulation, new,
that's how
Everything.
business goes.
I know.
Yeah.
So, but we're trying to improve.
Well, at one point in time, do these folks think they're gonna do this work on these vehicles?
Well, they've been working on it in the summertime. It's not like they're not working on it at all, but they can't work on it when it's in wintertime.
I don't know how to answer it.
Rick's here.
He just got here.
He can get his 2 cents or cent and a half, whatever he wants to
Mm,
put in.
That's part of the point of keeping the business license, is to have an income.
You arrived just in time.
I guess the way I look
We
at
have
Hello there,
questions.
Octopus.
So,
it's not really an ordinance, I mean, it's in the act.
Yeah, this is
Briefly.
Indiana
It's not nothing that we drew up.
code. Right. this is
That's their
Indiana code.
income. Someone is working on those vehicles. They've been there for a year and a half.
I'm
No place to put them inside.
I'm gonna treat them the same I do everybody else in this town. They're gonna get a notice, and they got a choice. They can either remove it or put a fence up.
So what's the time frame?
We'll give you as much time as you need. I mean, it's been that way for over a year now. I mean, we're not gonna, but we just wanna see progress made. But I'm gonna do everybody the same way though. I'm not, one person's not gonna have a plan for, and then somebody else, if they need time to do it and it's reasonable, that's no problem. We'll do it that way.
We do
There
need to
is-
set we need to set a time frame.
Well, that'd be up to you guys then.
Well, I mean, it
That way-
says right here 20 days.
Well,
That's
that's,
Indiana code that you prepared.
right, that's for when we tag them.
So have you tagged any?
No.
No, he just didn't have
No, he just
informational
went
flyers.
around talking.
I went around telling people early because coming in April, I'll be hand delivering and signing a piece of paper on when it was delivered. And then after that, then we'll start tagging them. Now, if people have, where they need more time to do whatever, that's fine. I mean, I'm not trying to be archaic about it, but everyone's gonna be the same. Because if not, then you're gonna have people complain about, well, they're being singled out and then they're not, or they're doing this, and I'm not gonna play that. So I'll either do them all or I won't do any of them.
We're just discussing that we pay for commercial, it's 2 different entities, and it's commercial property, and that's our income, is the storage back there.
That would be no different than a junkyard. A junkyard has to do that. They gotta be fenced in.
Yeah, but
And we're not allowed to have junkyards in town.
Right,
Right.
well,
it's
but-
not a junkyard.
Right,
It's
I know
Yeah,
that.
I'm just-
But what I'm saying, since you are making money off of it, then that's your incentive to make it look where people don't have to look at it. Because that's the whole thing of it. If you can see it from a public entity, public property, an alley, street, or whatever, and you see that one part down there that they added that just a couple of years ago, because people were putting tarps on it.
Right.
I guess they changed that, 'cause that's something that I didn't see. But hey, this is good. This is totally up to you guys. If you don't want me to enforce it at all, I'm fine with that. Or if you want me to go after them, I'll go after them come in April, and people need time to to get stuff done, then that's fine too.
I just don't want it to get out of hand,
And
is
we
where
said
I'm
we'd work
standing.
with them, we work with them,
Yeah.
moving stuff around and making sure everything looks
I mean,
appropriate.
for you guys could almost, I'm not saying, I'm not recommending anything, I'm just saying you guys almost put trailers right there in front where you can't even see them vehicles.
Well,
But,
and I just, yeah, I know we could lay the campers along the edge of the, I mean, if we need
Right.
to do that, we can do that.
but,
If that's what the town wants us to do, we can take our camper and put it along the,
Be
cause we've
creative.
already got one camper on one
I'm
side.
not saying, as long as I can't see it from a public road, I have no quorum with it, I can't do anything with it.
Well, that's what I was discussing with them. You and I had discussed if we put them behind the red barn, then we see them from the corner of Green and Carriage. But I
Oh,
can
yeah.
put them, I can put them next to the, beside each other next to the large building's door entrance. And we can make them look nice and appropriate, I mean, so they don't look like they're sore thumbs, because we already have trailers and
And if
campers
it's a
and
business,
boats
you're
and-
liable to have more too. What Rick was saying, I think about
I
the
don't think
20
we're adding
20
anything
foot
else.
fence.
I think we're,
Yeah, no.
He was
We're-
just talking
we're-
about
we're at
the length
capacity.
of 20-foot fence to hide things from a public view.
Yeah.
yeah, but
You anticipate these people finishing this?
absolutely.
They're gonna do something with it this year, I'm sure.
Do we all belong to the same person?
Yes.
Well, I think what you said, if you start in April and whatever you come up with a time frame.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're making progress, isn't it that what the town cares about? They're making progress and they're moving forward. 'Cause like I said, they've been there for over a year now, and but usually
But we can move them and put them back as close as we can to the building and tuck them out away and make sure that you can't see them from the main, you can't see them from 38, or you can see them from, Green and Carriage at this point in time. We can do that. That's not an issue. And if that's not sufficient, then let us know and we'll move the other camper along the property line and we'll have two campers there instead of a fence.
Are you making a fence with campers, basically?
Pretty much,
I
that's
mean,
what you
yeah,
just said.
I mean,
I mean, I don't
do we
wanna be
pay
a
an
smart butt about it,
advertisement on the side of them
but if that's what you guys want us to do, that's what we'll do, that's not an issue either. So, I don't think it has to get that far out of hand, it'll look nicer.
Well, I think Rick hit the nail on the head.
as
It's
long
not
as I can't
visible.
see it, I don't.
It's not visible.
It doesn't really.
We can do that.
It doesn't really, say, what object is in the way. It just says that you can't see it and you can't cover it with a tarp.
Okay,
Other than that stuff. So, if you can be creative, that's great.
Did you have any problems with anybody that you did hand those out to, Rick?
No, not really, because half the people wasn't there, and the other half they just said, "Well, what about so and so? What about something?" And it started.
Yeah, and see, that's what happens.
I know. I
Of
go,
course it's gonna happen.
What's good for the goose is good for everybody else.
But there's people that know that they've had vehicles for a long time, and they know it. They just kind of, they knew it was coming, so. That's why I was kind of getting the letter out there now, so they start thinking about it, so that way.
How many did you pass out, Rick?
I don't know,
Did
about
you
7.
make a record of the addresses? And
Oh, I know where they're at, so man, I won't have to worry.
I would like to see that, please.
No, I haven't made. I just know where they're at. I mean, I drive around town and see them all the time.
I'd like to see a list of the names and the addresses, please. At some point in time.
I can get a list together, I guess. That's no big deal.
I think we need that for the board itself, so we can have a look at it.
Did you want this in
Do what?
the paper? Do you want this in the paper?
I did, there was something about putting that doesn't need to be put in the paper, does it? If you're handing out flyers?
No, not really, because I put it at the post office and put it at the diner down there, and I put it on the front door down here, and.
I mean, it's a local thing,
I'm just trying to give people a heads up, so that way they're not shocked come April when we start saying that, and I drive by and give them a letter and have them sign acknowledgement.
Well, I had asked her to hold off on putting that in the papers.
Oh, that's
But
Excuse me.
I'm just not wanting to pay for something and
It's not necessary.
It's
Now
not
when you only got,
necessary when
now
it's
when
a-
you got
when
like
it's a
seven,
local-
you got 7 or 8 people versus
It's
the
an
whole
in-house
town, so it's
thing.
not, it's kinda, it can be, it's gonna be taken care of personally, so it's,
I think it's gonna work the way you're doing it.
Okay, well, we'll know when the battle starts in April.
So what we'll do is we'll get the other vehicle over there, and then we'll take the camper and move it and block from both sides. We'll just put the camper a long ways in front of it, and that way you won't be able to see it from either direction.
As
You'll have to go in the cornfield to see anything.
You
No,
guys
that's-
be
yeah,
happy
that
to
don't
see it
count.
from the street, right?
If you're driving in the
You'll be happy
cornfield,
you can't see it from the
Right.
street
Yep, no
or
problem.
I come down that hill,
So-
I look at the road anyway.
I do
don't
too, I
look
never
at
seen it.
everybody's
I
property.
didn't know it was
Don't-
there.
well,
Don't worry about it.
that's what we can do is get the other truck next to it, and
look
there's
at
already
somebody
one
else.
camper there, and we'll take our personal camper and put it in front of it.
It
That
was
way it'll be
news to
hid
me.
both
I-
ways.
it's there.
We're okay
I
with
mean,
that.
you got, one gentleman in town, he's not gonna be able to do anything with it, so I mean, we're gonna end up towing them vehicles, I mean, I know that's gonna happen, so.
And then there'll be hard feelings that are just gonna have to be dealt with.
Well, just like I tell them, I said, you talk to the town board, I'm just the enforcement arm, they're the one to get it done, and I'm the guy that's gonna get it done.
But the sad thing about it, when ordinances are wrote, and a lot of these ordinances have been wrote long before any of us come
Oh,
before.
yeah.
And they were tailored however. Now, in order to rewrite ordinances, we're proof that we rewrote our pet ordinance, took us 1.5 years of extra meetings, and not that that's a big deal, but it's just, sometimes you just gotta take Indiana code and adopt it and go with it and you're done. And that way you can say, well, it's not our problem, the Indiana code's the one that said that, not us. And you can't do something less than Indiana code. You know, if Indiana code says it must be this way, you can't say, well, not here, it don't have to be that
But
way.
it can be more restrictive, not less restrictive.
Exactly.
Right.
And I got a phone call yesterday from her name is Williams. She's on the town board up in economy. She wanted to know if we had, if we had any ordinances, you know, for junk cars and stuff. I said not well. We do have, but they're not written very well. I said, but they don't have a town marshal. And I said, good luck with trying to get the sheriff's department to enforce junk vehicles, because they're not going to. I mean,
I don't think the sheriff can enforce their
Yeah.
city ordinance.
yeah, state ordinance they can.
Well,
State
another
ordinance,
thing
they
like
can.
Brandy brought up
Just what
earlier,
I'm doing, the state ordinance, you do have.
it should be abandoned vehicles, not so much junk
Junk.
vehicles, cause
Well, I know,
one
but
person's junk is another person's
It's
trash.
treasure.
that's why the statute goes down and gives you examples of what they call abandoned vehicles.
We adopted that though for the town in 2004.
I know.
Did you tell
I mean,
Shirley to
it's
go,
in our, we adopted it, so it's ours.
did you tell Shirley to go by state ordinance?
Yeah, I told her I'd email her a copy of the state ordinance and she can, but I told her that don't count on the sheriff's department being too enthused about, they don't use, like, to do that kind of stuff.
You have
but-
one
Well,
problem, then
going
you have-
forward, I mean, if there's any issues with the building back there or anything you guys see, just feel free to get a hold of us and we'll work with you guys. I mean, it doesn't have to be that drastic. We talk to Rick quite often. I mean, I know everybody here, y'all known us for years. Just get with us. We'll work together. I'd
Well,
rather
what a
do
lot of
that
people
than,
don't understand is that these ordinances are designed to help you as a homeowner, so that someone next door to you doesn't
Oh, yeah.
have a trash pit that devalues your home.
so, well, like I said, going
So-
forward, you guys know it's a business and not us just putting stuff out there, so.
I always thought it was a really cool building.
But you know, that's just like, you know, that, the guy there with 2 trucks, you know, just right around the corner there. You know, if he wants another month to get rid of them or whatever, hey, that's fine. Just be proactive and keep moving forward. Just like I dropped the letter off to them people behind you. All of a sudden, there's 2 vehicles gone. Go figure.
Now there's a dump truck, a dually dump truck.
Oh,
They swapped.
They hauled one off.
They
Did they?
trade
hauled
2 in
only
for
one
one.
off.
bring you a
Think
dump
about
truck.
it.
And
we
they have
have-
5. And it
what
is
you just
accumulating.
You said if they need an extra month, if we're gonna go by these ordinances, we need to go by the ordinances. I mean, you know, once, if you give it to someone and says, okay, the way the ordinance reads is that from 10 days. If he goes, well, now I need 30 days.
Then you give them 30 days. It's called being flexible.
Flexibility sometimes.
And that's-
They haven't been
Well,
enforced at
you're
all
right
for the
now.
last
And
for the
that's
last
when they
couple of
would
years.
sign
So
that
so
Acknowledgement, when you give them that 30 days, and then
Yeah.
you can,
Then you can check.
As
it
long
and
as you
see
can
if
hold
they
them to it, that's
incre-
fine.
As long as there's been an improvement.
As
Like
long
I
as
say, that's why there's ordinances in place.
exactly right. But for people who are willing to work with, then you go the extra mile and be flexible, and as long as they're doing what they say. It's the Republican way, buddy.
We are,
Okay, one more thing.
Always brings
And
that up.
it's not about the abandoned vehicles. There is a dog that runs loose and has attacked a dog on our property this way.
you're the dog warden.
I
Um,
told Brandy she would need to fill out a complaint.
Yeah,
so-
it's a pit bull and
This is
it comes,
Cassie's dog.
Who?
Cassie Fields,
3 houses down here
3 houses this
behind
way.
us.
Her pit bull got out and attacked her daughter's dog.
On our property, and our dog was on the leash in our backyard.
Well, they need to, like I said, I mean that's fine, but yeah, she need whoever's dog got attacked. You need to be calling my phone, leave me a message, call the sheriff's department, because I'm not clairvoyant, and there's no way for me to know this kind of stuff.
No,
I know
no,
that.
no,
I know. I'm
It
just
You don't know
saying.
what to do.
It just happened recently.
We
Yeah,
just found out
because-
tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely be. Oh, I hate vicious dogs.
Yeah. And with there
Yeah.
being that many children, you guys put stop signs up because the kids down here, if a dog's gonna attack another dog.
You got a little
Yeah,
dig on
good
that
kid.
stop sign, didn't you?
Yeah, 'cause we back into that darn stop sign when we come out of our driveway now.
Yeah, just feel.
Or do you
I'm
have
more
to
worried
have
about
more
that
than
steel
one?
beam that's right there by the.
Hold the cable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it used to be there.
Yeah.
When we back out of that driveway now, we have to be real careful, 'cause that stop sign's
I
right.
can't do it in the truck. I can't.
I just put it where
Because
it's
Brandy
cold.
already said
I
that
know.
they're gonna shoot it the next time.
Man, that's
Yes.
rough
Which-
right there.
She really has a right to do, correct?
You just gotta be careful though shooting a gun in town. I'm just saying you gotta be careful. If you
I
shoot
know.
at a dog and you hit a kid or you break
Oh, yeah,
someone's
absolutely.
window, then it's all for nothing. You just keep that in the back of your mind. Kathy's had plenty of opportunities to shoot a dog. She didn't do it.
Oh, Brenda could shoot the
She wanted
ones on
to.
the flag, didn't she?
Well, they don't get any more warnings.
The
That dog
wind's off the
attacks me
fly,
again,
Yeah,
and he's gone.
I think she's
He's
pretty
gone.
good.
He's already cornered me 3 times and Buddy twice. And the dog's this big.
Ankle biter.
You become a football.
Well, I can't get away from him.
It's the owner's fault.
That's all right.
It's not the dog's fault.
Are you good with moving the truck over?
Yes.
Okay, anything else? Anybody got anything else, Brandy? Anything else that's been
No.
on your mind?
I'm glad you came.
Whatever?
No, and like I said, if you guys have anything, just get with us. I mean, we have no issue helping, and we're trying to buy houses and clean them up as we go. We want it back to what it used to be. We want the whole town back to what it was when I was a kid. That is
Why
my
we're
intentions,
Doing what we're doing.
so. And if there's things that we can help with, we're more than willing to help.
Donations are always welcome.
Yeah.
I
Cash.
I can cook, what y'all want, I can cook.
Actually, we could use some new Christmas ornaments for street lights for winter time.
Those are so
They just need to be,
Redone.
redone.
have a
We
basement
have
full of them.
13 of them, but they don't have enough
Oh,
places
yeah.
to put all of them.
That were brand new in 1948.
Down there in the basement of the fire station.
I thought they
Yeah,
were
but
stored.
maybe cleaned up and
No.
fixed
Community
up and
center.
used.
No,
They
they're in the
probably
basement.
could be.
Okay.
What we need
Maybe
to
we can
do,
get
and
with you and
I
clean
had
up
said
some
is
of them
I'd
and
like
put
to
'em up.
sometime
See if
this
we
year,
can fix 'em
maybe, get some groups
I know
of
lots
people
of
to
them
say,
in the
okay,
basement
I'll
of the
take
fire
2 of these,
Hey,
2
go
of
set 'em
these,
in that truck over
ornaments,
by the barn.
and I'll take them, put them in my garage, and I'll clean them and take the garland off and paint them if they need it, and do the lights, and if,
Well, that's what we said we'd help out too, doing
Or
that.
start a campaign with
Also,
donations.
We've told Rick before, if there's people in need, both Ricks, we have clothes,
3 rigs.
well, we have clothes and toys and stuff. If there's a fire or there's families that are in need, feel free to knock on our door anytime, day or night. We have stuff to help out. We know that things happen 24/7, and we try to make sure that there's stuff for boys and girls at all times at our house so that we can help.
That's cool.
Christmas
Yeah,
time,
toys and
birthdays,
toys.
yes, we keep things
For kids,
for kids.
if
and-
anyone needs it.
If somebody needs it, you let me know, we'll make sure that I have enough resources, we can help anybody.
Alrighty.
Okay. Anything else? Alright, unfinished business. 16 South Water, purchase agreement signed, ready to move forward. What does that mean?
Well,
Have the people been paid?
we were trying to move forward. The clerk treasurer got in touch with, Blight and found out she needed a lot more information. So she got in touch with Adam, our attorney, again. And, I think you have a copy of it, don't you, Doug? The letter that Brenda sent him. And he has agreed to help. He said it will be done. I got an email from him today.
Well, okay.
Maybe I have the email.
What's our deadline, Anita?
I don't have one. We just gotta do it pretty soon.
I mean, what's our deadline for Blight this year?
End of the year.
We do have to the end of the
Yeah.
year?
Yeah, they extended it all to the end of the year for everything. It wasn't even supposed to be this year, but they've added that year in.
Can we add buildings?
State, oh no, no. I tell you right now, we can't add no building code. I'm not adding them.
Yeah, one I need added,
Okay.
It's a great big one.
very big.
Just if we get
I
the
don't
two
think we
done
can
that we
do
need to
fire
get done,
buildings.
this is an eyesore.
I don't have that,
Okay.
Anita. We could, have Rick go ahead and do his report real quick, man, cause I skipped around you. You need a copy of it to do it, don't you? I'll give you last month, it's the same thing.
I just copy and paste.
That's exactly what you did,
I gotta get my readers on.
and that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just got a phone call from my son that's coming up here. He said that their whole base is restricted.
Oh, basically.
Can't go, no, all of San Antonio there, that whole base, Lackland. Can't go off, can't go on.
Oh, I'm sure. The schools are canceled.
So they
for
got-
As of
next
Friday.
They
next
just,
until
Friday.
the
they just
13th.
got
23rd.
400 more people off a cruise ship.
13th of April, yeah.
We were just told that Reed Hospital's under, and the nursing homes
All
are.
the nursing homes are locked down.
We have a
Schools are
extended
closed, ain't
family
they?
member.
Schools are
that's-
closed.
No,
It's starting next week. the
Yeah, it's
20th.
starting weeks.
Friday.
23rd.
But see,
Next Friday.
the thing about the corona stuff,
Because the
it's
week
not
of the
hitting the
23rd
kids
starts
hard,
spring break.
it's hitting the old
So
people
they wouldn't
hard.
have been in school.
Well,
anyway.
your teachers.
What's the 23rd to the 13th of
They
April?
need to go out to the nursing homes, wherever there's old people at. Where they at, buddy? All the old people.
There's some on this side of the table.
Don't look at us.
That there is.
But, you know, that's where they, it's,
When they say elderly people, 60 and over, I'm like,
They said Prince Fellowship,
come on.
only if there's a deathly matter, or if, you work there, you have to have your temperature taken before you go into the building, you have to wait.
We're at
Friends Fellowship,
Forest
the-
Park and Golden Rule, I know
Yeah.
are the same
same
way.
thing.
went to Walmart
And I
today,
heard the Springs
in
was,
Greenfield and
they
out.
couldn't do it too.
Terrible.
Shelves are empty for toilet paper.
Ridiculous.
It is in Muncie too.
Toilet paper.
Wasn't
Where
it
they
mine?
figured
out-
I went to
What the
mine
hell's going on
the other
here?
night about Toilet paper.
Toilet paper, I'm going, everything else they
Lysol.
got. But toilet paper, the whole thing is empty.
Try alcohol and sanitizer.
How about just wet wipes?
They had Clorox wipes, they had all that, cause they got more in, but toilet paper seems to be something popular.
Some people think that they're,
Well, now that's gonna stop the
Overdoing it.
coronavirus.
Oh, it's not, but you're gonna be comfortable with being quarantined at home, I guess.
necessary
Well,
paper.
get ready, they're trying to figure out a way to pay, for everybody to get paid while they're off for this.
exactly, you know, if you don't, if you sit back and look at the the big picture
It's like
here,
Very good vacation.
if kids aren't in school, then they have to have daycare lined up for them.
The
Well,
daycares
yeah.
Daycares
are
aren't gonna
closed.
take them. People's not gonna
We-
be able to miss work.
we've
to
already
watch
had
their own
people-
kids.
I went and subbed today at the daycare, and Paula said that she had like 6 people call and try to get in that have never been there before. We have no openings left because every kid that is in school, that is in our daycare, is going to be there.
Wow.
They're not gonna be in school, they're gonna be in daycare together.
Yeah,
They're gonna be somewhere together, cause they're not gonna be at home.
Be a lot of latchkey kids.
Mm.
Remember that term kinda went away.
Oh, yeah. We got the, our radar repaired in car one. Remember it was sent out about a month ago because it was having issues with it. So they got it all taken care of, and then the other radar units were certified. We do that every 2 years.
Certified them again, last month and this month?
Copy and paste.
Twice.
Oh, copy and paste.
No, 'cause that was in February when it was done.
Yeah, I
Keep
know.
up, buddy. Keep up. Come on, I know.
I'm keeping up with your notes, sir. I'm looking off your
Dementia.
notes.
Battery for the white car. Got a flag for this. We had our sheriff's meeting.
Got an extra battery for the white car.
Extra battery for my car. What did you say?
We've had a sheriff meeting both months. I'm
Yeah.
looking at February and
Right.
March
Oh, baby.
at the same time,
I know.
because they're the same.
I know.
Copy and
I
paste,
keep-
that's okay.
I keep it simple for you. I don't want you to get lost in
Yeah,
translation.
well, keep you from stuttering.
Uh,
Let's go.
Did you get the taser stuff done?
Taser?
Batteries?
Yeah.
Okay.
It finally came. And for some reason you can't, those are like hard to find too. They want you to buy a brand new taser obviously, but I'm not buying a brand new taser. Like $1,400.
Was
Later.
that your batteries that come to my house?
Yeah. We had the IDAC audits. It's done randomly for different agencies. If we ran someone's criminal history, then the state police want to know why. And we had a case attached to it, find out they had any priors, so. And then I passed out letters, reference junk and abandoned vehicles. So. Other than that, buddy, it was just like last month.
Exactly, very close. Very good.
Please
Hours are good, very good.
please take the time to make a list of who you delivered the letters to and the
I'll get it done
address.
Sunday. We'll get it done Sunday.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions for Officer Bush? I need a motion.
I make a motion, we accept the police report.
Second.
Motion been made, properly seconded to accept the police report from Officer Bush. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say the same. Thank you,
Thanks, Rick.
Officer Bush. Alright, you was getting,
Okay, we did get an email from Adam today, and he says he's sorry for the delayed response, but, he will review the material that Brenda's sending, and, he said it may require more information, from him, but he will get her done. He says, just want you to know that this matter has hit my radar and we will get done.
we've been
That's
dealing with this for
transparent.
about a year and a half. I'm glad the radar is finally working.
Yeah.
He just said he got it fixed.
True.
Exactly.
That was all problem?
But
That's
when
what we
she
were
went to the
waiting on.
portal trying to get the money, she didn't have enough information, I guess, from Adam on the transactions. We've never done this before, buying a property.
Right, and my thing is, he had, he was getting a hold of Blight easier and quicker than we were and doing things last year anyway,
Yeah.
so. It's something that needs to be done.
Yeah, I think it will be done pretty soon.
Well,
Getting the money.
we can wait on that, and wait on signing contracts, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Things are,
Yeah.
goes around, comes around, I guess. Okay. Out of dollar options, we still got that on there.
That's on table still.
What's that?
We'll table it with a lot, we got a big table.
We did, put it back on the table.
We have
Where
a
are we
very
tabling?
large table.
auto dialer
Oh,
for the other lift station.
Storm drain South Maple Street.
Table, we know it's there.
We're learning a whole lot from the storm drain down here. It might aid us when we go there. I don't know.
have you got any idea of what it's gonna take to do that, storm drain on Maple?
I gotta cut the road up, regardless.
We were gonna run the camera in there and take a look around anyway, just because.
It's collapsed.
Yeah.
Well, the property owner can, just, decorate it, the big cones
You know, if you
out
put
there.
some, if you put some flowers in it,
Uh-huh,
it'll look real
that's
pretty.
probably what you
Probably make Facebook.
It's on Facebook. It's a real deal.
It's really happening if it's on Facebook.
Darn it.
Council Rick Stewart. There you go, Rick.
I'm here.
What's he need counseling for?
Being here.
Oh, okay,
Council.
okay.
It's got his name.
So the training, it looks to me like that they took, and I spoke to Doug about it, and they feel like this training is gonna be okay, where we don't need to do this.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
exactly. We'll be okay from there. We'll,
'Cause I did notice that Cooley's certified in the same thing that says, the same numbers. So Cooley's certification that they're gonna work under is the same thing on these certificates.
There is another course that didn't you say you had years ago anyway?
Yeah.
yeah, there, and
I feel
there's,
if you got a supervisor with the big course and everybody's got the little course and the doing it.
well, and I would encourage everybody, when the weather warms up, we're gonna take a
about?
Saturday
Cooley.
and we're gonna do hands-on training at the main lift station. And I would encourage council and everybody to be there for that. I'll let you know when. We're gonna wait for nice weather. And we get the equipment in, we'll do some training, get the fire department involved, and
Very good.
cause they're the ones that's gonna have to come pull me out of the hole if something goes wrong.
So we don't
Fill
need
it
to be
in.
concerned with this.
Train those guys.
No, don't fill it back in.
So you're happy with this?
Yeah, because if that's what I would highlight it. And then if you look underneath at the bottom of their certificate,
Okay, then how about the equipment? Are you gonna go ahead and purchase us some equipment? So if this happens again, we don't have to rent it?
yes, yeah.
I know.
I'm gonna get with Doug and find out, we're gonna go with this, but he wanted an extra. I don't know if we need to make a motion to buy this stuff, or if it's just since it's safety, if you wanna put it on paper, I don't care how we do it.
We can always, you can never go wrong by making a motion when you need one or not really. And so I'll make the motion, we get the needed equipment to do our job in a safe manner. I mean, you really shouldn't have to make a motion for that, but if it.
Just to do to the dollar amounts, the only reason I brought
We
it
have a
up.
list of what we exactly need?
Yeah, I had this last year, but we weren't certified.
There was a thing or two added when you
Doug wanted-
originally
Doug wanted to add this
self-retracting.
lifeline, the Y lanyard. This is what we're, Kathy, I mean, that's what I found.
And when we were out there that Saturday,
It was
if the
fairly
little
cheap.
thing that she was running letting you down, if it broke,
I'm dead.
well, no, but you're just gonna hang there for a while, cause I can't pull you up.
I will probably die.
Oh, no, we just wouldn't fill it up. We just fill it up to
thanks.
your neck.
Let me bob like an apple, huh?
Yeah.
Float you out of there.
Yeah, maybe I
So
can grab
the-
a hold of something and float with.
The tripod, the winch, the leg bracket, and the,
Not that piece, but the dollar amount that you see there excludes that piece that's written in ink.
This one, lanyard or the self-retracting?
Both of them.
Both of them.
They're not in there, they're not in that price. So I'll have to add into that 1950.
The other, while you're looking at that self-retracting, lifeline, we need a second one for out at the plant.
No, well, yeah,
You know, so that, it's that way we can mount it permanently to the winch that's out there.
What was that you needed?
Self-retracting lifeline.
Self-retracting?
no idea what that one costs, Rick?
I can give you an idea.
no, I haven't looked on that website, cause I didn't know what he needed extra. That website seems to be a lot more friendly than,
It's cheaper than these people.
yeah.
Being we're on TV, I'm not gonna say who it is.
I say as long as it's OSHA approved, hey, go for the cheapest.
They had pretty good reviews on their products, so.
Just a ballpark.
That's what I'm gonna tell you.
I think through that place there, he looked at, this was like $3,000, so it's about $1,000 cheaper.
I was just wondering between that
I think this had
equipment
one on top.
and fixing
That's the trick.
the pump at the vet,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tank, if we're gonna have enough money to do all that.
We'll figure it out.
This is what we really,
Right, the tripod is,
But you can say no to this, you know? Be more cautious.
Parking signs are ordered, and no parking signs are ordered. Not parking, but no parking. Here, the corner of two's been ordered, should be in a week or two.
Where we put that? We decided that?
That's on, I'll leave that up to the street commissioner.
I wanted to put it on, be the north end of 10 Main,
Okay.
Gotcha.
and that will cover that double parking area and wherever my ordinance book went. No. There's information there, if we think it's an obstructed or unsafe place, we can put a sign in. It's like
Hi, Brenda.
73-03 in our ordinance.
So you're talking about where the dually and the trailer's been parking?
Yes.
He can park there, but no one can park right beside him. We just block that whole area off, and I did read that,
Did you?
it says if it's deemed as hazard or unsafe, traffic obstruction,
Cool.
so, where's my book at?
Oh,
I don't think we need to make a motion for it, we decide, I think we've had enough enough citizen complaints that it's, when you turn that corner.
Okay, oh,
Yeah,
customer.
customer. When you turn that corner there, if there's a car parked there, they've had to stop. We've had a couple of them said they had to stop on 38 because they couldn't make that turn
I've
because
had
cars were there.
complaints in here about it.
So I think that, it looks to me, by reading this, we're well within our limits.
But did you guys make a motion to buy the necessary equipment for the confined space training, or do you need one?
I didn't think we needed one,
Okay,
but I can
that,
sure
no,
make
that's
one.
fine.
Did you come up with a,
Well, we're still trying to come up with some numbers.
I'm sorry,
984.
that's all that lanyard, and, but you
No,
need
that's,
two?
that's the winch, yeah.
Well, he's got the
self-
prices on the other,
self-retracting lifeline.
okay,
Yeah,
but you need two of those.
At $9.84 each.
Yeah.
through that place.
So this is where they were. That's what they were. And then the lanyard, the dual lanyard
Oh, we
was,
get all our lab stuff from the.
yeah, they were cheaper than the other lab companies.
And we've got enough harnesses, right, already?
We got one harness.
One enough.
Unless we have to send somebody in to rescue someone, then no.
You guys have harnesses we can borrow in the event of need.
We do, I mean, we've got them on the rescue, on
We
the
got the
green.
belt. We don't have a full harness to,
I think there's one on the green rescue truck, I think.
Are those harnesses
Yeah, I thought it was just a
inspected
belt harness.
annually, or?
I inspect ours. I take, before I put it on, I inspect it.
You're inspector qualified? and
Yeah,
all
well, I
that
am
good work.
because it's my life, most definitely.
Right, but I didn't know if, I know how a lot of OSHA equipment is, you gotta have it inspected by a certified
No,
inspector.
and
yearly
there
to
are,
make
there
sure
are
it's still in
standards
good
as far
order.
as fraying, sun fading. If it gets sun faded, then we've
Yeah.
gotta pitch it. If we have frays in it, then we've gotta pitch it. Things of that nature. If there's burns in it, it's gotta go. And I'm not gonna put my life 30 feet above the ground, above a hole of crap on something that's frayed.
Don't blame me.
Yes, you would.
I mean, it's
I
bad
know,
enough
yeah.
just having that cable hooked to me,
Yeah.
swinging like Peter Pan and talking in a higher pitched voice.
Way back to the parking, our own ordinance 73.01, signs at hazardous or congested places.
Something like that.
I mean, it says when signs are erected upon approach to hazardous or congested places, no person shall stop, stand, or park a vehicle in any designated place. So if we put a sign up at the end of 10 North Main, because we think it's a hazardous or congested intersection,
That one might be
then, we're well within our rights.
And what will the sign say? Just no
No
parking?
parking
No
here at the
parking here
corner.
at the corner,
But he can pull up on his gravel.
because it's his.
Okay.
And we discussed that a little bit, not here, but
No, it's his, but we have,
That's the double lane.
what is it called that we have?
okay.
Easement.
Easement, thank you. We have easement to that, correct? We do have the easement over
We do, and it's just kinda like the State Road 38 is. I mean, it's that gray area, they have to mow it, they have to maintain it, but we have easement to it.
But he has gravel on it, so that doesn't apply.
Well, it does, I mean, he's maintaining it.
Okay.
And since we've got asphalt on the north end of town where two people park, that's in that same spot.
He shouldn't be going over our sidewalk to get to it, it's parking place,
And he's been told.
okay, that it's damaged.
Actually, if you walk over there and look, the whole thing's crumbling.
It wasn't before, but it is now.
I'd have to argue that with you. I went over and took pictures all the way around the curve, the whole front face is crumbling.
Yeah, it
He'd
is
had
now.
to, but I mean, he'd had to drive through the building to even get to that.
there. Just thinking of that, Phil was asking.
Yeah, for the, I went over there when I took pictures, just the whole thing's crumbling. It's salt is what it is. I mean, it's that calcium chloride just ate it up. But he's been told he's not allowed to be on the sidewalk by the state law, and he actually put power to that building, and there's no more jumping a power cord across, so it has its own power now.
Oh, he's got power in there.
Yes, it does have a meter base on it.
I saw extension cord coming out of the apartment the other day to the front of 10 North Main there, I don't know. Maybe it was, I was thinking they had power put in.
It's right there where his truck parks, where the meter base is, if you go by and look, so there is a meter in there.
So he's okay as far as.
If he's off the
electric.
sidewalk, I mean, we don't, unless you're gonna go around and just,
He's not driving over the
There's a
sidewalk.
lot of places
and
in
he's got
town
power
where
to
we
go.
paved up that, where they put, for some reason, put blacktop on that people park on.
Well,
It
and
used to be green.
years ago, the town's the one that did all that,
I mean, I can't,
before our time.
I can't in good faith go around and tell all them people that've been parking in them spots and own these homes for 20 years, you can't no longer park there.
And Becca's house is like that too.
Do what?
Becca's house is like that.
It is, yeah,
Yeah, there's concrete and then there's a sidewalk.
I mean,
But I still
You
park
don't
on
have
the
to
road.
mow that, lucky you.
No, I don't have to move that. I know
You
around the
lucky
tree
dog.
though.
so I think he's trying to play fair.
He's good.
But I just don't like to park there, so we just block that, make it no parking from there to the corner, and we don't have to worry about the congestion anymore. We'll probably have another visitor from the neighbor across the
Oh,
road.
yeah, that's all right,
But we'll handle that,
that's why we have broad shoulders.
yes.
Was there, Rick, was there an ordinance as far as how far from the corner,
Nope.
or you said?
Used to be 15 feet.
I thought it was too.
What, for parking?
Yeah.
There's nothing in here.
Yeah, there's state law about parking in the
And it's
intersection.
15 feet to give a car, the 15 feet to pull up and not have to look over the cars if there's any oncoming
Yeah,
traffic.
that's not near enough for that intersection.
No, we're gonna go all the way to the north end of the building, just shut that whole thing down.
Just make sure that you guys get an ordinance for it, adding that sign.
We don't need an ordinance. Right here, 7301.
What?
We already have one.
We already have an ordinance.
It says if we tell Rick Bush to do something, he'll do it, and they say,
And
okay.
I'll say no way. I'll call my man Trump and he,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
73.01.
right, but anytime that you add a sign, you still gotta have an ordinance.
No, I don't.
If not, then you can just put up signs anywhere you want and there's no,
Well, yeah,
there's no,
sure we can.
oh, when I done stop signs, I had to go all the stop signs. Just like that sign down there, we had to add that to the ordinance.
We had to add it right.
Right, anytime you put a sign up, a new sign, you gotta write an ordinance saying that you're putting a sign there. But you guys can do what you want. I'm just saying,
Yeah, I know we can.
well, but
You work
again,
for us, we know that.
but again, don't try to have, force something that's not legal either
Oh,
though.
we never
Show
do
me where it's
that.
illegal.
Oh, guarantee.
Show
Yeah,
me.
he's saying that.
No, it's not
shooting
legal.
Show
that
me.
is
It's not an
legal.
ordinance.
Show me
Show you what?
where that sign won't be legal versus what that ordinance says.
Oh, wow.
All this here is that when signs are
No,
erected,
we'll eat some.
you can't just put a sign up anywhere you want.
Keep reading,
Where,
7301.
yeah, just read it. When signs are erected upon approach to hazardous places, no person shall
There, right
stop.
there. Designated a hazardous place.
Right, but what I'm trying to tell you, any sign that you put up to control traffic, you have to do it by ordinance. I'm just telling you
It
that.
just has to be amended to the
Right,
current
but you just gotta write somewhere that we are adding a sign on this day and wherever you guys wanna put it.
So we can just do it right now and make a motion.
Just, yeah, sign an ordinance and.
I don't know
type it
why,
up.
I don't think sign an ordinance. There's not an ordinance in there for every stop sign in town. There's not an
Yeah, there
address,
is,
there's
'cause
an
I-
address in there for every
Yeah,
stop, and every
yeah, cause I
parking.
went around and Chuck Todd had me audit the
And
whole
no
town.
parking signs?
Huh?
And no parking signs?
I think stop sign's the only thing, isn't it? Speed
talking about-
limit, maybe?
That's the whole point. That's why you don't have signs just up nilly-willy. You have them located in a book somewhere, so you got reference to go to it.
The no parking signs are in there?
Any sign that references.
How come I ain't being answered?
Oh. There ain't no, I say any new signs, is what I'm
Is
trying
there
to tell you.
all the no parking signs in town in that
No,
book?
nope.
So none of them are any good?
I don't believe that we enforce that, maybe no parking signs I know of. Where they at?
Well, there's some right here on 38.
You know, I don't
That's
mess with 38.
38 is state.
They're in front of
38
this
state.
building right here. In front of the old bar.
Just on 38 sign.
I'm just trying to tell you that
I'm
when you,
just telling you, if they're
You're
not,
right
you're
with
telling me
38.
if they're not in that book, they ain't no good. So none of our stop signs, no parking signs are any good.
I've never enforced them, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm trying to think where we have no parking that's not on 38.
I know, that's why I'm trying to, I don't know.
By
But
my
I'm just
house,
telling you,
The alley in between our house, there's a no parking,
So
no
that
block.
sign ain't no good,
Do-
everybody can park there.
Do not block driveway.
Yeah, do no block drive, no parking.
Put your camper fence up there.
yeah, but you can. Hey, you know what? You have a town attorney, ask him. I'm just telling you what Chuck Todd told me years ago, that he made me go around all the stop signs and all the speed limit signs at one point. So, he's one that pointed out to me that any sign has to be by ordinance. So that way you don't just have signs pop up
We got a
anytime.
bunch of ordinances to write.
I just,
Oh, you just want one ordinance and you just list all the locations.
uh,
Ain't mine.
Then how do we take care of this?
You got other problems to worry about than the location of signs.
we'll hang a sign and worry about it when we get caught. How's that?
Works for me. I don't know why we have this, if we can't read them and use them though.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I pulled that out there, see if it says in there where they're at. I don't, like I say, I didn't realize there was a no parking over there. Then again, I live on South End. We have driveways.
Oh, you guys
We do too, but.
buddy. You guys gonna add anything? You guys wanna add anything to that?
Oh, this is that, no, I don't think we're gonna do anything. The ordinance that we had talked about before says, where he had slipped, in, there's no person to park any trailers. That's when it was talking about no parking trailers in town. I had lined all that out and said, no, we're not gonna change anything because what we're doing is the opposite of that.
Okay.
So, no, to answer that question. All right. Are we having fun yet? Doug?
How are we gonna keep her from parking there if we ain't gotta enforce it?
Put up the fence. 20 feet.
That's a good idea.
We're just gonna have
Put
to
it
put
up.
parking
Our
ordinance.
camper wouldn't park there.
You know, she
I got
says,
a camper I can pull over.
he asked her,
He said he wasn't going to.
Rick,
What?
if we put a no parking sign up there, what happens?
You write an ordinance and you pass the ordinance. I'm not gonna get involved in it, he said, she said, they said, it's not legal, it is legal, or have the town attorney say, yeah, it's good to go, then I'll enforce it. As long as it's legal, I'll enforce any law or statute. But if you want me to enforce a statute and come back and say, oh, well, it wasn't done right, now we're on the hook.
So what you're saying is you want the footage from the actual stop sign where the sign's gonna go and
In writing. that
what
it's
day
okay.
it's
That's why
gonna
you
be there.
That's why you have an ordinance, that way this stuff is not guesswork.
Have you found the ordinance there yet on anything other than stop signs?
No, I'm not even look, I gave up looking for that.
So basically, if we add an amendment, if we can find it, if we can't find it,
I can type something up, I've already got a blank one in there, you can type up and add the location and it's done, signed, it's not a big deal, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, ain't no big deal.
I guess the problem that has arose in the last 10 minutes is about you saying you wasn't gonna enforce something that we asked to be enforced.
And
I'm just bringing
no,
that up.
well, I'm bringing it up, if it's not
I
legal,
believe
I
you.
wanna enforce it, so I
I
wanna
believe
clarify it, it's not that what you guys do, if there's
But the
something,
amendment would clarify it all.
yes.
But you'll write the amendment.
I think, I'll write something up and then you guys can look at it.
Okay.
I done the stop sign down there, I can sure I can do a parking sign.
Well, the stop sign, there was already a list of stop signs.
Right, we
just
need
had
to add it
that to that.
Right.
But there's not one already about these, and there is. I'll look at it after the meeting, I'll get my ordinance book out and we'll see what
I
I
didn't
find.
see anything, I read through it before I came down here, I didn't see anything about parking.
But you'll write an amendment for parking signs for the next meeting, right?
If we have to have it, I guess we'll spend the money and call Adam and ask him if we have to do it, and
He'll get back to you on that.
Exactly.
it's just a cost that we don't need right now.
Right now, just let him do it.
Yeah, good, it won't cost anything.
Okay.
Surely you'll clock in when you're doing it.
Not for Buddy.
Oh.
Good.
Have we gone through everything?
Oh, no, not quite.
No, okay. I was gonna ask Brenda for the warrants.
We've got a new ADA coordinator, I'd like to introduce Rick Stewart
Gee, thanks.
to the group.
Do I have to have an amendment for that, or can I just have that?
That's an ordinance.
You
No, it's
enjoy
an
it.
ordinance, or I can have that job.
We'll pencil that in.
Okay, all right.
You just need to
Our
throw it out
ADA.
to us, okay?
ADA membership dues is $25 a year, correct?
Yeah, well, the.
Good money,
membership-
especially when you're dealing with ADA,
Yeah, we need to do that.
because we're gonna have to be doing some ADA compliant things coming up this summer, anything with sidewalks, curbs, things
Yeah,
like that.
anytime we touch a sidewalk.
Well, they're already tore it up, the snow salt has done tore them up.
Yeah.
That one on 38 with the steps, I mean, if we have to tear that up, that's gonna get into some salty money because we've gotta create a ramp.
Yep.
And buildings are in the way and we have issues and
Yeah, then we can get that no parking stuff took care of then. It'll be fun again. So, I guess now I just want to make a motion, we go ahead and renew our $25 annual membership to the ADA and fill out the application in Rick Stewart's name because he is the street commissioner. Is
I
that-
second that.
Well, thank you. Motion's been made and properly seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. All right. Let's see, ADA coordinator. Paving pay. I noticed that was left on there. We're not paving, but the work that the crew is doing at the corner of 38 and Pearl, or Main and Pearl right there.
Was it special?
It's a lot of,
Project?
yeah, it's special.
Yep.
That's special. We did purchase a cement mixer to mix our own cement, concrete, if you will.
Oh, we bought one?
Mm-hmm. $207 Harbor Freight. Works fine. It worked today in the rain. Rainproof. I watched them.
Sat in your car and watched.
Oh yeah, in my truck.
He was standing in the rain when I went by.
I was leaning on the shovel, wasn't I?
Yeah, he was.
They was teaching me how to lean on the
I
shovel.
know, I watched it.
You didn't have to take a shower afterwards.
he's a pretty good student too.
Lord knows we don't pay these guys what they're worth to begin with. Normally when there's special projects and it normally deals with paving, construction work like that, we try to give them more money. And it's gotta be done prior to doing it, so this is in progress. So what do you guys think about paying them $11 an hour for this special project? 'Cause it is a special project. We felt it should have been a state project to do to begin with.
What was our, I thought it was 12.
No, it was 11.
11.
It was 11.
12 was a different,
No, we talked
A different
Wayne,
item.
Rick, and
The three
Yeah.
people, when they, there'd be three people when they
Yeah.
do it.
Larry,
And,
Mo,
and
Curly.
we need to have three people out there when it's going on. Number one, because of, you're gonna be down, somebody's gonna be down the hole.
and you're talking about
Well,
this
it's
on
the
the
whole
corner
filled
here?
up now though, so it won't be much
There
longer.
won't be much hole
You
left,
do two.
yeah.
So what do you're saying, pay them this for sewer or what? I mean,
that's a town,
It's a town.
that's a town function for
It's
the
a town-
storm sewer drain.
Special, we pay them their, I don't wanna say what we pay them, but I
No, I
guess $7.50
understand.
an hour for, cleaning leaves out of the gutters and cleaning leaves out. I think this is, using heavy equipment and doing major construction, basically.
Sadly, it's not a whole lot more than what they already make hourly,
I agree.
but that's all we really can do.
I agree.
Yeah.
We just try to throw them an extra biscuit every now and then if we can.
Yeah.
I don't have a
If it
problem with it
benefits
at
us.
all.
You just wanna get approval so it can be paid.
right.
That's what she needs approval.
Now go in there and have Rick whack on up real quick. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, I don't care.
Okay,
You
so
need some salt, Rick?
Oh, yeah.
what do you guys think about the special duty pay for this
I don't have a
work that's
problem
going
with
on?
it.
I'm fine with it.
All right, then I'll make the motion that, for the hours that it takes, that they hopefully don't drag out too long.
You watched us humping today.
We bought you an electric
I
thing,
know.
you gotta crank it.
I know. Thank God it didn't have a hand crank.
Don, make that motion.
A second.
Motion been made and properly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Could we have saved money on hand crank?
No.
All opposed say the same.
You had to
Thank
hire
you.
somebody to run the
Yeah.
crank.
And we bought you 2 new shovels.
I know, that was awesome.
Okay, I think everybody got anything, or we're looking at warrants? Catherine?
I'm making a mess.
And what's the deal on the brownies?
Are they bad?
Well, they're
No,
not.
they haven't
We
even been
haven't
unwrapped.
cut 'em
That,
yet.
I guess
So-
she's waiting on her daughter to hand them out. or
No, I
something.
was
She's-
waiting on the camera.
Do you know, she's never offered me a brownie on Thursday night. I have to take them if I want them. She
I
offers all
don't
you
think
guys
you
a
like
brownie.
'em, do you?
She gives some
Oh
people
my
whole
goodness, she's
hands
gone
of 'em.
senile.
We need a motion to approve the warrants, or?
I think
Yeah,
you
I'm
got
reading
some
them right
on
now.
Bill's
Sorry.
phone, thank you.
Did you talk to him about your wall?
No.
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
So I'm sure that you guys know that the world's going crazy right now with this whole Corona crap. And-
Trying to get some toilet paper, you guys can hurry up on that.
Yeah. Oh, Walmart's out.
They'll be sold out.
So anyway, I think that with all the precautions, so like in the case of Indianapolis, we're losing events at our hotel because we can't have more than 250 people together at one time in an event.
Holcomb just signed that today, didn't he?
No, we're not kidding. We're on a hiring freeze. If you work for us, you're good. We're not hiring anybody. Anybody was in the process of being hired for 60 days. So anyway, I'm thinking that really we need to just post a note and probably let the door stay locked, not let people randomly roam in and out of here when mom's in here. I mean, she can go to the door and let them in, but just to let anyone roam in and out.
I've read some of the smaller communities today,
Uh-huh.
and they're just locking the door.
Well, that's what I'm, yeah.
They're closing it to the public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're saying
Yeah,
that the
that's what I
employees will
think.
be in there and they're just gonna be locked.
That's what I was working my way around to.
Oh, man, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
There ain't
Fine
nothing
with that.
going on.
What's that, locking people
Lock it,
out?
yeah. They can knock or
There's a Dropbox.
Or,
Just
yeah.
give me a drop box.
And then the other thing is, we've been talking about putting something in here to make an office so that there's 2 separate rooms in here. This might be a good time to pursue that. I don't know exactly what there's different ideas that's been tossed around, but I think that we ought to really look into doing it, get an idea what it's gonna cost and see
The
if,
wall.
I have a plan.
she's got a plan,
Well,
more than
where-
one.
I got a drawing.
I'm sure if Officer Bush was here, he would say that.
Where are we putting a
as-
wall?
Originally, we talked about walling off
Figure
this
out
wall.
how to get
Oh, I
money
see,
to build a
yeah.
wall.
But Mom came up with some other thought, I don't know, if you and Buddy or
But
Dawn or.
what good will it do
No,
if
it's
you're,
trying to get back in.
Well, we could put a glass window where she could open and close, and then
I
it would
see.
keep everyone out
Pay
of
window.
our stuff over
This
here.
office should be,
It's just so Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
see what
secure
you're saying.
thing.
Yeah,
So anyway, one, we're gonna go with locking the door, so
Separated.
you put that in the minutes, that you can just keep the door locked when you're here.
okay.
We know we have a sign posted what the hours are, so we're good with that.
Motion for locking the door, let's hear it.
I make a motion that we accept the warrants.
Second.
Motion been made properly. What, Brenda? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say the same. So be it. Now I'll make a motion. Wait a minute, we got anything else?
Are you making a
Brenda?
motion about the door?
The door to be locked. That's what we thought we'd make.
You don't have to make a motion to lock a door, lock the door. You're in
Okay.
charge. When you're in there, this is your office.
So if
You're
the
in
town,
boss.
if some of our town folks come up to complain because they can't get in,
Well, they
We're all
just
good.
put a sign out there, knock.
My thing is, if they go to open the door and they see the light on, guess what they're gonna do
put
next?
down on the door.
Hello?
Okay.
Come in.
No, that's fine.
That's exactly what I do. CTAR report. Did our CTAR report get done?
She's sending it in now.
Okay.
And she's getting paid, her check is on the voucher she just.
Right,
approved.
that's why
Yeah.
I wrote down, because I saw where we had paid her for the
Yeah.
CTAR report. All right, then, anybody got anything going once? Nita?
Don't think so.
Going twice? I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion
Second.
been made and proper second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.